What's so exciting about the Benefit Corp legislation is it finally creates, institutionalizes the values of the SVN community in the laws. And it says if you want to run a business that is trying to put purpose at the center of the business and not just profit, now you have a legal form, a corporate structure that's been made for you. And from an entrepreneur's perspective, that helps make sure that you can maintain mission over time. Don, you can talk about it from an investor's point of view.
Yeah, from an investor's point of view, what's critical is being able to differentiate between those that are really deeply committed to social and environmental impact in their business and those that are just savvy marketers that are trying to glom onto a trend. So this effectively does that and allows us as an investor to make clear decisions and have a great baseline to start with when we're starting a loan or investment we're making.
We're at a tipping point in the evolution of capitalism between a century that was dominated by the shareholder to the next century that'll be dominated by the interest of all stakeholders. And what Benefit Corp legislation represents and what the SVN community represents is an effort to redefine what it means to be successful in business. As an entrepreneur, you're creating high-quality jobs and improving quality of life in your communities. As an investor, you're generating real returns and you're generating real impact. Like everything that B-Lab has done, the inspiration from it has come from the SVN community. When we first started thinking about the B Corp legislation, which most people call Benefit Corp legislation, we recognized that lots of good ideas go nowhere unless they have the support of business leaders and investors. And B Corp legislation is no different. And in California, that was particularly important because we had to overcome resistance from entrenched interests from sort of old guard conservative lawyers who didn't like a new way of doing business. And so there were literally dozens and dozens of SVN members all throughout the state that were influential in helping to get the legislation passed, but none more influential and important than Don Shaffer from RSF Social Finance.
The inspiration for us in supporting the Benefit Corp legislation in California came from a commitment as an investor to support socially and environmentally impactful organizations. And the fact that in a state like California where you have so many innovative companies and SVN type companies, there really isn't a clear outlet for people to say, here's who I am, here's what I believe in, and bake that into the DNA of the corporation. And Jay and I have been close through SVN for the last 7 or 8 years. I think we've been coming to nearly every SVN conference since 2004, and so it's literally been a dialogue that's built up over quite a long period of time as to the various ways that we collaborate, and this legislation is just one particularly fun, satisfying way for it to happen.
And now, as a result of that collaboration, entrepreneurs and investors in California have the ability to found and invest in and grow businesses and maintain their missions over time through growth and succession and new capital raises. And that would have been impossible without the leadership of SVN and the leadership of SVN members like Don and the folks at RSF. I think it's important just to note that it's not just the work of Don and RSF and maybe 50 or 60 other SVN members this past year to pass B Corp legislation in California or in 6 other states. But we stand on the shoulders of literally decades, 25 years of leadership of the SVN community, and if it weren't for their pioneering leadership and their mentorship to us, we wouldn't have the opportunity to try to do our little bit to advance the ball one step further for the next generation.